Hi there, today we're going to be talking about the full process of maple sap and the production and collection of it. So first we have to start with some tree ID during the winter because there's no leaves up on the tree, as you see.
So we're in Northeast Ohio here, and the first thing you're going to start with is opposite branching. So if we go look at the canopy there, in Northeast Ohio there's 5 trees that have opposite branching, mad buck. The maple, the ash, dogwood, and buckeye. We don't really have many ash trees since the disease took them all out. And there's not many dogwoods around here, so we just primarily have maples and buckeye trees.
And one of the main features of the bark is it has this kind of flaky appearance. A lot of other trees have more of like a flatter, smoother bark, but this is kind of like a beef jerky as they describe it.
So once you identify your maple tree, you're going to want to tap on the south side of the tree because that's the side that gets the most sun throughout the day. For the sap to run properly, you want it to be below freezing at night and above freezing during the day. It's usually below 20 degrees at night, above 40 during the day. Once you find your maple tree, you're going to want to look for a big root, follow it up. It doesn't matter how high you tap it, but if you put your taps in your tree, you want to be 18 inches apart.
So the next thing here that we're going to do is go ahead and tap the tree with our vintage hand crank drill. So really, you want to make sure the tree is at least a foot in diameter, or else you'll suck up too much nutrients because all the nutrients are going up to the leaves, so the buds start to flower up in the spring. So what you want to do is really come up to a convenient location, and you're going to want to give it a little bit of an angle, slight upward, so that the sap can run out. And you're going to want to start just cranking, and you're going to go about 2 inches deep, right, because that gets right past that bark layer. And you just want to make sure you go in straight, because if you don't go straight and have a nice oval hole, then your sap will actually start to leak and you'll waste product.
And we're using a 5/16 inch drill bit here for the plastic taps we have.
So actually we had a little bit of a predicament here. Our actually drill bit just snapped. Usually this doesn't happen. Okay, so our other bit just broke, so I just got another bit. I got 3/8 actually. So as I was saying, you're gonna wanna drill in. I'm just gonna go nice and slow so I don't break another bit. And you just kinda wanna put light pressure at an upward hill. And you just wanna keep cranking, nice and easy. And you wanna clean out the hole a couple times by pulling it out. As you see here, we got some sap already starting to run out. So now we're going to be tapping in our plastic taps. So you're just going to come over here and place it, and you're just going to give it some nice light taps. And you hear the sound, it's kind of like a dull sound. And once you get in, you're going to hear it kind of thud, and it's like you hit it and it kind of bounces back. That's when you want to stop. You hear that thud, and you just want to stop there. Yeah, so after you get your tap in, you just want to place a bucket underneath it, and you want to direct the tube into here so that it fills up, and you'll come here tomorrow and it'll be filled up. So now we're going to go ahead and actually do another tap using one of these stainless steel aluminum spiles. So right here is actually, these are plastic tube spiles. These are aluminum spiles. The difference is, these are a lot more expensive. These are like run about $4 to $5 each. These you can kind of get almost for like $1 each. So these are a lot better for price if you're going for budget. These are a lot nicer though because they have a nice hook you can hang any bucket to. Okay, so just as I'm walking here, we're gonna go tap another tree, but I've just noticed 2 tree IDs, and so we can actually identify what is not a maple. So right here, actually, you have a red oak. If you get up close enough, you see these strains and veins going up and down the tree that are kind of red and brown in bark. So that's gonna identify a red oak. And if you actually come right over here, this is actually an ash tree. You could tell by these diamond-shaped bark. It looks exactly like a diamond, and they have very rough edges inside here. There, actually you can see this one is starting to die. Right here, you see these holes and all these punctures in here. These are those diseases that are wiping out all the ash trees all throughout Northeast Ohio, and actually all in the Midwest, as a matter of fact. All right, so right here we're gonna tap this maple tree. So right now we're using a bigger size bit. This is actually a 7/16 bit because the metal spiles are a lot bigger. So we're gonna go ahead and go above a big root because that's where the nutrients go up on the south side of the tree. And we got some real good sap flow here. Lots of drips. It's going all the way down the tree. This now we're going to go ahead and tap it with our aluminum spile. You want to keep going. Go ahead and add our collection bucket, and you're done. I'm gonna go ahead and collect our sap. This is the next day, 24 hours later. We got about 3 gallons here. This is actually 2% sugar sap, so it'll take about 40 gallons to get 1 gallon of syrup. So normally we actually store our sap in that 55-gallon drum that actually is used for collecting water from rain. So, but actually because we're right here, we're just gonna put it into our boiling evaporator because it's already going. So it's gonna filter out some of the big stuff. Okay, so this is our homemade wood-burning evaporator. So we actually just used fire bricks and some cinder blocks just to contain the heat, and we put our pan right on top here. So right here we actually have a chimney that goes up here into the flute, and it lets out all the smoke here. So right here's our aluminum stainless steel burning pan. So we put sap in here while it heats up, and then we start letting it into this bigger pan where it actually does like all the evaporating. This is just a preheater just to keep it warm so that you don't kill the boil, as you call it. So we got a little bit of a boil going here. So as you see, right now we're letting in sap trickling through here, and actually these gradients, it grades it as you go. So as you see, the color starts to change color as you get closer and farther away from here. So right here it's pretty much clear, right here it's kind of brown, and then over here it kind of gets, a little darker. So this is closer to maple sap. So one of the major things you want to watch out for is getting too much smoke in your sap, because then it'll turn it to too much of a smoky flavor. So I like to do the eye test where I put my eyes into the smoke and then you see if it's steam or not. And in this case it is. My eyes are not stinging. Okay, so right now we need to fill up our 5-gallon bucket so we can put more into our wood burn evaporator. Okay, so now we're just gonna go ahead and just keep boiling it for another 8 hours. We still got a lot to boil here. We still got about another 20 gallons. So we're just gonna make sure we keep about 2 inches in the pan at all times, and we're just gonna make sure it doesn't go over 67% sugar. So that's about it. just gonna be doing a quick update here. We've been boiling for about 4 hours now. So first thing, as you notice, you can see the color gradients. You know, you can see how it's darker as you get closer to the far side of this pan. And we got a lot of foam building up, so we got a lot of impurities right here. So we're gonna kind of clean out that foam and just kind of throw it out of here. Okay, so we have been boiling for a couple hours now, so we're gonna go ahead and check the sugar content because we could be getting close here. So I'm gonna take my dropper, put some on the refractometer. I'm just gonna go ahead and check. Yeah, we're good. We're still about under 50% sugar content, so we should be okay for now. As we're getting closer to maple syrup, you can see the gradient starting to form. It's a lot clearer now with the lightest here and the darkest over here. As it's flowing through these different baffles here, it is actually grading it in the more dense, which means it's closer to maple syrup. Is all the way in that back corner. Okay, we just finished up boiling with our evaporator, so now we're going to go ahead and finish it on our stove. So we're just looking to get this at 67% sugar content or 7 degrees above boiling point, and then it'll be officially maple syrup. Okay, so we just did our one last filter and we just finished up. We got to 68% sugar content, and we just filtered with this little contraption using a shirt on the top layer, then a normal like noodle strainer on top with a disposable cloth filter on the inside. And right there's our finished product, 100% maple syrup. Okay, so we just finished up boiling up our sap, so we're at 66% sugar. And we're going to go ahead and bottle each of these into these jars, 8 ounces. Okay, so we just finished up bottling all of our maple syrup. We got a total of 120 ounces. This is our first batch for the year, and we plan to keep going as long as the weather permits.